I'll see you then, click. I walk over and unlock the door.
I still knock on the door.
Walk back to the desk while I'm waiting on you and put it back in the safe. Okay. Come in.
What's up? May I
I
see?
start firing. No.
Start firing
Yeah.
at you. I
Bang,
invited you up
bang,
here
bang,
to.
bang. Yeah.
There's only
know
one
we've
left
You're,
to
had,
you're
eliminate.
wanted dead or alive. No.
I know we've had rough patches over the last couple of days, but really do we have to resort to violence?
I missed on purpose. I didn't have to miss. But anyway, how can I actually help you? It
So
was it was Haas' merciful gun anyway. It would have just knocked you unconscious.
What do we do?
hopefully I don't lose memories or my brain because now I've got two tracks that I'm trying to not get those derailed. So we need to figure out what our next course of action. Do we go say Gloomy? Do we go after the captain, or do we find resources, or do we figure out what the heck is up with Death Arms? He asked me some weird questions a minute ago. Anyway, we have a choice of figuring out what to do.
Well, I thought we were gonna go get your cousin.
Okay, so that's on. There's a big city in the League of Holidays. I'll look the name of that city. I'll have it here somewhere.
No, I think Holodis is right.
Well, you have the capital planet. So the capital planet, the planet that's the capital of the system is Gombakur.
Right, Gombakur. That's the
That's
planet.
where we got the unfortunate trinkets the last time, right?
I hate the 5
I think
minute
so.
I'm supposed to use the hair cleans the pumpkin.
Okay. So we can look for cargo once we're there because we have that stuff in the back of the ship still. And we can still do an investigation to see if we can find the Sheeran woman while we're there, which could lead us to your cousins. Gumby? No, not Gumby.
Me.
Oh,
Gormy.
Gumi?
Gormy.
Gormy. You're like, gore me in the chest. Got you. Okay. So,
Yeah.
we have several things we can do while we're there that will be helpful in several areas. But that leaves us with who to leave in charge.
We're gonna bring Big Red. Confusing. He's confusing. Anyways,
Well, yeah, we're gonna bring Big Red, and if we can actually find that fucker, we're taking the doctor with us this time too.
that's true. He's always hiding.
I mean, Kurad's so busy right now with his work that he can't be bothered to come with us, so we might as well take the other doctor. And I kind of roll my eyes when I talk about Dr.
Will Hop.
Yeah, and I normally don't forget his name, so Dr. Oglehop. I kind of like Dr. Oglehop, but I'm still kind of angry that he ditched out on the last mission. So, sounds like a good plan. So, how long have we been back for? Son of a bitch.
You've been back for at least a couple of days.
Okay.
And it took you
I
a
just
full
want to make
day. You got back and you did all the stuff that you like, talking to the vagrant and what have you. And then the whole next day, you went through all of the wreckage from his escape pod and the ship that blew up. What's left of it. So you've been back for
Oh,
at
yeah,
least
we
2
did do all that.
days. So you've been back for at least 2 days. So it's
Okay.
up to you whether you've been back for longer than that. You could even have been back for an entire week and roll to see if you can recruit some people for Lichdom, if you
All
so
right.
desire. if you so desire.
Well, each of us on a different day would start that.
It's a week-long activity, and you can all three do a check. So, but only one of you can use the Lichdom's corporation's bonus. The rest of you have to use your own.
Yeah, well, then I need to use my own because I actually have one. I think they're tied though.
For what? What are we rolling? I'm sorry.
To see if you can recruit more people for a Lichdom Corporation, the organization that you 100% run.
So, Scott, you roll. Do you have any diplomacy now?
Nope.
Okay, and neither do you, Death Arms. So you're both rolling raw. Hmm. Who has a charisma bonus?
I do. I have a +4.
Alright, so that means Death Arms, you're gonna roll a d20 plus 9, and Scott, you and I are gonna roll diplomacy. And the
Philip, you
DC to hit is
managed.
13. Kib does
Philip,
not
you
find
managed.
anyone.
Yeah.
Yay.
So both Death Arms and Philip are able to recruit one more person for the for Lichdom Corporation, and I think you have all the members you can have right now, and it's just followers, if I'm not
Yes, it's
mistaken,
just
right?
followers.
Yep.
You are correct, sir. I'm about to go ahead and write those down.
How many does that put you up to total with followers and members?
16 and 4 for a total of 20.
Ah, so Lichdom Corporation can finally skeleton crew this fucker when you guys leave on missions, even if the syndicate's not here with their presence. Sweet. Cool. So you guys have officially been here for like a week and 2 days at this point, because you all had to do like the membership drive and what have you. And in the case of Death Arms, you pretty much organized giving orders to somebody within the organization to do the membership drive. You were basically like, "Huh, I am delegating you this task." And they're like, okay. And they went out and recruited somebody. Because that's what it means when you're using the organization's bonus. You're delegating work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, by the way, do you like do you like you haven't like had any real like significant meeting with Death Arms in a while? Like,
The
is that
last one
something you
was
need to do?
us discussing about the guys from the other space station.
Right, right. So, like, like you guys are talking about going out to the League of Helidis. Or do you want to have are you gonna like have any kind of meeting with Death Arms before you go out to the League, or are you just gonna leave it raw? And are you gonna mention anything about the bounty hunters calling out that they wanted to bring him in too?
No, I'm gonna keep that conversation to me and Kib that we
Okay,
had last week.
okay.
But technically out of character, I know things, and technically in character, my character knows things that his character doesn't know that I know. But back to it. What? I mean, we have
At the
dinner
very
as a
least,
group on a fairly regular basis.
I'm
So
gonna say, just as a matter of point, you might at least want to send him the itinerary. Like,
hey, we're going here. If you're not coming, then you suck. Love? Oh, wait, I'm not that captain. Councilwoman.
yeah. So, do you
But no.
what
Yeah.
like here? Do you just say the League of Halidis, or do you specify a planet, or yeah?
I give as many details as my character would remember, which is quite a
Okay.
few. But what I do mention that we're looking for a Sharon woman. That's name I don't remember because I don't think
Chill.
anyone ever told me. So
Uh,
we're looking for
The, the,
her to
ba-
find.
the bounty hunters told you, and they were like, her name is
Yeah,
Clutchell, and
yeah. We're trying to find his cousins and sell the stuff that we found inside the big ass truck, and then try to acquire some more cargo after that because that'll take a whole day to try to do. And we have to be there to do it.
do you get like the next basically what their next jump point is? Like they're going to the League of Holidays, the planet potentially starting the capital planet of Gombakur, and they're looking to find the cousin that the bounty hunters mentioned torturing. And they're going to try to find her, and they're going to try to find the Sheeran woman who popped out briefly, took a couple of shots at you guys, and then ran away.
Yeah, we're gonna have lunch with her. So that's the itinerary. Kurad, Ninvis, and Colovian will be in charge here while we're gone. And we're taking Dr. Oglehop with us because Kurad has decided that they no longer want a pirate, which is technically what we're doing. So, that's the skinny. What do you think? Good. In that case, pack your bags. We're leaving in a day and a half. Kib, start your 24 hours of plotting the course.
Gotcha. Run down
Uh,
the fucking.
Maybe while you guys are doing this, maybe we get the whole you guys sort of like parting off to do your preparations and whatever. You know, um, Death Arms. I don't know what your preparations look like. You like meet with security staff and give them marching orders, or uh, do a little extra hunting or a little extra research on stuff.
Yeah, a little bit of all that. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, so maybe maybe you're kind of like trying to get some background information um, on the mission and where you can go and whatnot. Um, uh, I'll allow you to make a culture check to see what you know about the League of Holidays here. Bam! The League of Holidays. It turns out like your mentor was from the League of Holidays. You know a lot about these motherfuckers. The League of Holidays is ostensibly an ever-changing oligarchy. There's no real government in the traditional sense. The corporations rule everything there. The League of Holidays is capitalism gone to its fullest natural extent. Like the companies that sell foods will quite blatantly advertise that they now with more addictive properties. They're basically a 100%, proud of a very consumerist, mercantile society. Um, and it's always sort of hard to tell who the oligarchs are considered. It's not like a thing where there's a necessarily always the most formal announcements, and oftentimes it can change as quickly as a hostile takeover. Um, and there's a lot of corporate espionage there. Like your mentor probably made a certain amount of good money, bringing in corporate spies to their to the corporations they were trying to spy on. or renegade agents of a organization that had of a company that needed to be brought back in. So what you kind of know about this place is, and it comes across to you that this Clutchell, this Sheeran, she's not just any Sheeran. If she's the Clutchell, the bounty hunters sort of alluded to her being very rich and having a very important, parental type figure. If she's who you think she is, she's tied to a very important, a very large corporate magnate named Tira Shield, who's in Espracasa. She's actually his ward, um, and he's very well known to be um, a very adaptable individual. He's very shrewd in terms of like being able to sense the market changes and alter up production, advertisement, and and legal to bring everything together to like move in whatever direction. Like he's generally, if not on the forerunner of something, he's usually like the very close to being the forerunner on something, whenever there's like whenever there's a new fad in terms of like products being sold or a technological development, some company he knows he owns or has interest in or another turns pretty hard, on his business acumen. Um, and he definitely is based on Gamba Core. So if this Clutchell is the same Clutchell you're thinking of, she, for one, has her own perfume company. For two, which everybody knows was paid for by her, ward's money or her like by Tyrus's money. He got her started and whatnot. Um, which makes it even more curious that she's trying to run down pirates. Because theoretically, she's rich. She shouldn't need a lot of money. She shouldn't have need of a bounty on a singular, one figure. Um, you know, uh, which means uh, whatever Kib's into or got or knows about, you know, it's more than just a monetary interest for some people. But you pretty much have a pretty good idea already of where like Tyrus Shield's offices are on Gombacor.
Okay, well then, so that since I know exactly what I'm dealing with, I'm gonna be like, fuck. And I go to Kib to directly find out what he knows so that I can be prepared for what I need to do.
Right? Yeah. It's probably not hard to find Kib. He's probably like you're plotting your course, so you're probably on the shuttle, like laying in things, studying star charts and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Skids. Yeah, Kib's off for a minute. So we'll until Kib gets back, we'll skip over to Philip here real for a second. So Philip, um, is there any further things you need to tie up before you take off? Like what does Philip's preparations look like? You are muted.
There, can you hear me now?
There you go.
I go talk to Nimbus for a minute. And I'm like, Nimbus, tonight when you go to boards, I want you to start or tell the story that I told you that the council has been decided.
Okay. And he's
Okay?
like, okay. And by the
Yeah? Go ahead.
and by the way, I guess we do have a scene we need to take care of. I completely forgot about.
All right,
So
let's take care of that.
maybe while you're talking to Ninvis, like we get a flashback. We get a flashback and a callback to the end of the last episode, and there is a where you're sitting like it sort of like we get like the little title panel that says earlier, a week a week and 2 days ago, or a week ago. Um, and we start with Dovry Forge Core, this dwarf walking
Oh
through the
fuck, I
door
forgot
of
all about
boards and
Delivery Force Course.
looking around and saying, kicking the elf laying passed out or possibly dead, and saying, "See, all elves are pansies. I knew it. All of you elves here, if you got ears, I'm saying it right now, you're all a bunch of fucking pansies. Now, where's the bitch that owns this place? I gotta speak to her. I got questions." And like, what is the reaction at the table with you, Philip? Like,
I
you see her, you know who she is, and she comes in. Um, um,
actually start snickering probably.
okay.
Then let's see. Hmm.
And I do mean the station.
I'm not very scary. So I attempt to stand up and look big and bad, and I'm just tipsy enough that I kind of fall back into the booth for a second. So this time I stand up and I'm like, let's try that again. Which bitch are you looking for? Because if it's the fucking tallest bitch in the land, then that would be me.
Right.
Otherwise, we have others that might be more suitable for a woman such as yourself.
I'm looking for whoever the one that they say runs this space station. I've got questions for her.
Hang on, do I speak dwarf?
No.
No, I do not. Damn it. Wait. I have another comma. Okay, I don't. So, there goes that
I
idea.
cast phones on you.
It's not the same, but I appreciate it. Um, did you not get a packet from her? I
It's
mean,
like,
I don't think she'd just send you off or send you all the way out here to bumfuck nowhere. To my shiny fucking tin can in the sky. And not have fucking told you what I look like. So,
then I need to speak. She looks over she like Dovry kind of stomps over. There's a couple of orcs that look at her, and for a minute she looks back and goes, "What the fuck are you looking at? Big tooth motherfuckers," and comes pig face motherfuckers, and comes over and sits next and stands by up at your table and says, and she's like, "Well then," and she sits down relatively unceremoniously, and
mm,
she's like, "Then I've got questions for you. I need to find the Grim Buckle Syndicate out here. I've got
hi.
business."
You found the Grimbuckle Syndicate out here as well. Now, let's try this again.
Well, then I need to. Well, if I found the syndicate, I need to present myself to the boss of the territory.
Well, that one wasn't nearly as good. So, let's try this again. Hello. I am currently the regional manager of the Grimbuckle Syndicate, as well as one of the leaders of Lichdom Corporation and the EIC of this station. That's head of Labrian, by the way. Um, and currently doing a favor for your and friend and mine. What's her name?
Oliska?
Yeah. So do we need to arm wrestle or something to get you to calm down? What's up?
And she looks at you, she goes, "Oh, you're the boss here then." She goes, "Strange, most of them don't ever tell you their name or show you their faces. No veil, huh?" She's like, hey, she's
Well,
like,
you are her friend.
"Well,
This was a fairly big favor for her to ask right off. So she cashed it in early. And that means she likes you. And I like her, so I'm going to try and like you. But there are enough elves on this station to probably kick your ass. Just so you know.
he snickers at us. I like to see him try it." And she goes, "But all things aside, but all fun and games aside, he says, being I'm part of the syndicate and I'm new to the territory, I have to introduce myself to the boss of the territory, and I've
Okay.
done me due diligence. If she says, being you're the boss around here, you're the one that's going to be that's to tell me who I'm going to be working with."
Ah. Thought you had your own ship.
She's like, she's like, she goes, she goes, I used to be a part of a crew, but most of them didn't want to work for the syndicate. And she was like, I saw better
Mm,
opportunities for money. Of course, the first assignment they give me is around a whole bunch of smelly hobgoblins and their creepy Oni friends. She's like, she's like, she goes,
Actually, that one came directly from the Syndicate, not from me. But goblins and Onis both have their place in the fucking scheme of all that is the Grimbuckle. So, what exactly do you do well?
hit things. I hit things harder than they hit me. She's like,
In a sort of semi magical way, like you pull from the essence of both gravity and light? Or perhaps you just have the ability to take punishment that others don't and then redirect it at people? I
me
mean,
and the forces of entropy. You hit me hard, I hit you
ah,
back harder. She's like,
there. That's good to
she's like,
know.
she,
Ah, well, then I have work for you. We need a secondary on a mission that will go on in about a week and 2 days from now.
like,
And it sounds like you can do that job.
she's like, she's like, oh, giving me a little bit of time to settle in. Then are we? She's
Yes.
like,
Do
so
you see
how's it
that big
work?
red guy in the corner?
And she's like, like a something. I see him.
Well, yeah. So that's our head of security. A former. Well, wait. No, I don't want to give that away yet. A bodyguard of sorts for Kib, our engineer, and a bounty hunter as well. But at least for the moment, he's at full reign and in place where he should be. That is who your current advisor is going to be. In fact, hey, Death Arms. And I holler at him from across sports.
Yeah.
Do you come over to the table or do you just yell from there?
I walk over to the table, all just big and brooding.
Mm.
She,
This is. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Death Arms, this is blah blah blah.
Dovry Forge Core is a dwarf woman, and she's all of her hair is braided with like with metal
Middle class.
symbols, with metal clasps, with sort of like with these sort of design work, like intricate design work on them. But like most dwarves, she looks fairly sturdy. She also she's got a like her demeanor is definitely that of a
What weapons is she
warrior.
carrying?
I think she's probably just carrying some sort of laser pistol or something. She doesn't really carry much in the way of ranged weaponry, and you can probably gather why.
Well,
Like
yeah, she's
you, d-
established what she is, and I've met more
yeah,
than one of them. So at this point,
like you, like you
Mm.
probably would recognize Death Arms the training of a vanguard.
Okay.
To
Also, Death Arms. This is she's going to come on this next mission
over.
we're about to go on. The one that we only talked about, like a few hours ago. We're headed to that planet to try to find Kib's cousin, the Sharon woman that you were telling me was super rich and a pain in the ass, and all of that.
Well, technically speaking, this whole thing with Dovry is happening a week before all of those conversations.
Right, but we'd gotten back, so there'd been at
Yeah,
least a fucking small overture for it, because we
so at
had
some
12
point
days on the
you
way back, me and Kib, while he was guarding the one prisoner after the other one bit their tongue out. And so we had plenty of time to discuss at least partially what we were going to do on the way back.
well,
At the very least, he knows about Gormy, and he knows we're going to go look for Gormy, and that will lead us to spending or getting money.
yeah.
Okay. But anyway, without revealing too much, she is going to be our secondary muscle, someone to help you out and to help keep Kib safe.
Okay, I'm going to look to this dwarf woman and say, "You think you're tough?"
Like she goes, "Oh, you can ask around in the Gilderon Authority about how tough I am. I'm bad enough they sent me here because they couldn't deal with me no more."
And that, my dear, is probably where you and I are going to get along most, because I've also been exiled to this tiny fucking tin can.
Well, you're wrong. If you
Okay.
think you're tough, there's always someone tougher out there. So be prepared to train, and do 100 times more training.
And we
He goes,
have a week and a couple of days for you to do that. So we have the combat training facility that'll keep you guys fairly safe for it. But it's going to come down to a draw every single time. So, but she is pretty badass. Would I think that she's equivalent experience to us at current level, or do I think she's a little bit higher? Is that a culture check?
I don't know if there's a check that's going to directly tell you that. There's maybe some spells or feats that would allow you to assess that. But you like
Okay, I don't want to
you
look for those right now.
like as far as it goes, um as far as it goes, like part of her information packet is that she had some media coverage with her original crew that she referenced a minute ago that where they were they had something to do with some asteroid or another that gained them some media coverage. And she was well noted as saying pretty much the same racist things that she just said um, on live air. Like there was a bit of a scandal about it. Like, um, the Othiga probably theorizes it's her crew didn't come to work for the syndicate, possibly because they didn't really want to continue to work with Dovry after the sort of like public black eye that they got from her being
Uh, your dwarf
super
is
anti-elf.
anti-alphametic.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, bro, it's 333 or
but
323.
she has she's had some media coverage for some famous adventure or another.
All right, but yeah, in the week while you've delegated someone else to look for a person for us and succeeded, um, you'll be combating her on a regular basis, telling her that
She's
she's no good even if she wins, that sort of thing. And then, is it okay to jump forward?
yeah.
Well, I'm doing the last meeting with you and Kib. I actually ask about how the sparring has been going with her.
Oh, it's going.
Yeah,
She's still
she's
yet to beat me.
no, she's tough as shit. Like she's tough as shit. She's come. Uh, you've had to pull out all the stops to beat her on more than one occasion because she's she's got the same kind of powers that you have. So it really ends up being like I don't know if you've ever seen like it like maybe it's that thing like if you've ever watched like Naruto, the Chunin exams when the Hyuga clan kids go up against each other and they're just smacking the shit out of each other and there's just so much energy going off and blowing shit up around them. It's like nobody can get close to you guys because you're both just releasing entropic energy, smacking the shit out of each other. It's like everybody has to stand the fuck back. Your security crew is just like, fuck that, we're not getting involved. Um, but yeah, she's as good as her reputation. But yeah, you get to the you do find your way to. But yeah, we do come back to you were looking for. We come back into like the current time, and you were looking for Kib because you were going to talk to Kib about the. You're going to talk to Kib about what you found out about what you're up against in the League of Haladies.
Yeah. And then I just, since Kib and I are in the same room, he's whatever I was doing. We like, I just grab his shoulder, turn him towards me. As I'm like, Kib, you have to tell me everything you know.
Well, if I tell you everything I know, do you realize how long that's going to take? Because I know quite a bit, and I know things here and things there. But I mean,
Kib,
telling
Kib,
you everything is a
just
lot.
the thing, just the things that I need to know for this mission.
Okay, so we need to find this Sharon woman because she might have Gormy. Gormy's kind of cool. I used to run with Gormy. Gormy used to work on this station back when we were underneath the tutelage of Captain Ehrlich. And we would do projects. She'd go out on missions and stuff like this with Captain Hurley and stuff because she was into demolition and all kinds of stuff. She's pretty awesome. And she'd come back, we'd talk. I'd work on the station. It'd be all cool. And then so we asked the guy from the last battle, and we're like, "Hey, where's Gormy?" And he's like, "Oh, they're in this city." And we're like, "Okay, cool. Now we're gonna put you in a corpse recycler." And then he bit his tongue off, and then he died, and then we threw his buddy in a corpse recycler. Yeah.
Okay, but why are there people after you?
Oh, because okay. Since I told fella a bit, I guess I could tell you, or anybody else wants to know why everybody wants me, because blah blah blah. Because apparently I have the information. Captain Hurley had this data pad of different people's names and stuff like that that are tied with the something circle.
The
No, that's not
Amber
right.
Wreath.
That Amber Wreath, that's what it was. Sorry. So he had all this information about people that were on the Amber Wreath, and their names are on this data sheet. And now all these people are after me because they think Captain is dead, but I don't believe he's dead, and that's why I'm still trying to find him. But they think he's dead, so then they need to get this data sheet. So they think I have the data card, which technically I do, but technically I don't because it's on the station, but it's not in my personal possession. So that's why everybody wants to get me, is because they think I have that information.
But you know where it is. So let me know where it is. I will keep that information a secret.
Well, it's technically not under my control at the moment. It's actually under Philip's control because I gave it to her because I kind of made her mad with taking us to that location that didn't have cargo, and then she got all mistrusty of me, so I just laid it all on the line, and she kept the data shard and the hologram thing that told us about it and all that whatnot.
Okay, so the information about where it is in Phillips's office.
Maybe she left it in there. I don't know. She might have moved it. It's been a week. We did the recruiting for most of that point, but there was times that we were separated. I don't know. She did something with it.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna walk over to Philip and ask where the data pad is with all that information.
Yeah, Philip is. You are muted. Yeah, Philip is talking to Ninvis and probably in a different part of the station at the moment.
I mean, you have the option to come find me and still ask that. Because,
Yeah,
I'm starting a rumor at the moment, so. Put the most gossipy
yeah.
person on our ship.
Yeah, I'm going to first go and check Phillips's office
Right.
to see if she's there.
I am not in the office.
I think
we have
Defraud is
never.
taking a shift.
Yeah. Also, just for canon's sake, we have never shown him that vault.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's at least 3 things he's got to overcome if he goes there and starts looking. So anyway, but no, I'm not in the office. In fact, the office is fucking locked at the moment. Defron has the
Okay, then
key,
I'm
but still. And
Alright,
as head of
so then
security,
I'm
you
going.
would be able to ask for the key and get it. So
Yeah, so I'm going to call Philip and ask where she is. Ding, 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 ding.
I'm on level 1 in the other office at the moment. I'm currently in a meeting with Nimbus. What seems to be the problem, dear?
It's something we two talk about in person privately.
Oh, well then where are you at?
I'm on the outside of your office.
Oh no,
I'm headed up to you now.
Oh, you're headed up to me now. So you've left the ops room already and you're headed.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I didn't know the first part, but I just wanted to confirm. Oh, okay. Well, I'll see you in a minute. Anyway, so that's all I need you to do, Nimbus. And I hang up. That's what you hear as I'm hanging up. All right. So yeah.
I think about the time you get there, Death Arms, Ninvis is walking out and he's giggling to himself.
Hmm. I do remind Nimbus that he should be drunk before he tells the story. That way, it seems more, blabbing rather than telling a fictional tale.
Okay.
Yeah. Be like, make sure you're drunk before you start telling people. But, hello.
Okay. I need to know if the data pad that all of the information about whatever Kib knows is in your office. Because if it is, then we're good. If not, we need to get it in there and we need to keep it safe.
What makes you think? Who told you that there was a book?
Kib told me.
I roll my eyes as big as I can possibly do, which is actually fairly decent since they're red and glowing. And Kib, you get a text message right about then that's just angry faces and other emoticons. But no actual words, and it's for me. And I'm like, the current information that you speak of is safely hidden and tucked away. And at this point, mostly committed to my brain. So.
Okay. Who all knows about it?
Well, 3 of us. the whole council knows about it. Some of the council is known for months and months and months. But they're in the middle of surgery right now and can't be bothered with such trifle. So, now there are 4. Plus the actual captain himself, who knows that the information was where it was when he left it. Herlig, I believe his name is.
Okay, we need
So-
to keep this number low. Lower than low. Understood?
Excellent. Bang. Now,
At the amount of people we can trust, which is right now us 4. So keep it low. Do not tell anybody. If we have to, we can tape Kib's mouth shut.
yes. Yes. Or maybe sew it shut. I bet we can get
Even better.
Karad to do that surgery as well. Anyway. So, yes, measures have been taken to protect the integrity of this data slab. So,
Keep it that way. Understood?
yes.
Because if anyone finds out that it is where it is, then we will need all hands on deck to stop them.
Mm. Besides, they'll go through the safe in my room before they go anywhere else. In fact, honestly, they'll probably assume that it's in the big safe. But the safe in my room has definitely been, talked about. It's another rumor. Or is it? We'll never know. So, we have stuff to do and less time to do it in now, especially since you now have knowledge that I didn't plan on you having. Is there anything you need to tell me so we're all up to date on everything?
I'll just hesitate, no, a little bit,
Mm.
no, everything's fine, and I just walk out the door.
Well, I miss it. So, I'm like, I don't have time to deal with him right now. I have other things. I still have to finish packing. I go to my room, I finish packing, put everything on board the shuttle. I'm ready to go for when we're actually ready to go now. Dr. Oglehop. I walk out of the office and through the door into the doctor's office from our side. And I look around. Do I happen to see him?
Nope. He didn't happen to be in there.
Okay.
You
I
do see his
leave
comm unit.
Yes. I leave a note on top of the comm unit that I place in a open spot so that it can be easily seen that says, "Dude, I took your stash. It's in the shuttle."
uh,
And then I also leave the same note on his door that I will have opened by Kib and then take his stash and put it on the shuttle. If need be, I will find somebody with a ultra-sensitive sniffer and make them sniff out his stash. Because there's got to be at least one Vlodka here that I can bribe into doing that. So, since it's been a week and a half, I know that's not much time, but is there any chance we've heard anything from Bettina about me requesting presence with her?
Mega, because that's actually a good question. So it's gonna take a while for the message to get to her and back from. So it's been a week. So
No, it hasn't been long enough.
It'll be 14 days before you hear back.
Well,
from
we're
her.
not going to wait that long, so we'll just have to hope it's there when we get back. It's not like I didn't wait 4 months for information that was both and not. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4. Our max load is 6, right?
For a shuttle, it's 4.
But
If you had if you had a light freighter, it'd be
6. Okay.
6.
Okay. So we're at max capacity right now anyway. So let's just forget that little plan that was forming. I look forward to the mission tomorrow. Hopefully Kib will have done well enough that we get there in a decent amount of time. And then I'm like, I get on my comms and I tap a couple things and I'm like, I gave you 50 credits for tonight at Bort's. Have a good time. Get plenty of sleep. Dismissed. Ha! How do you like it when you just fucking walk away from people? Anyway, Death Hunt. That's what I say. And then I go do other stuff.
Right.
Then,
Yeah.
I go have
I
a
think
private meeting with Colovian where I explain to her the significance of if anyone shows up, tell them we went here. And if they're like, oh, you're just giving away your fucking owner's fucking whereabouts, and you'll be like, he doesn't pay me enough to save his ass like that. Okay?
is there a particular reason why you want me to put all of the people after you and Kib on your tail?
No, I'm telling you to send them to another place.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm actually telling you to tell them that we went to see Bettina Clemlin.
I
Because
see.
if they show up there to fuck around, we will definitely make notice with Bettina one way or another. And it could go badly. But, yes, I want you to look at their threats when they make them, and then hand them a data pad, this data pad with our fucking base trajectory of heading towards Bettina's. Because this is an actual flight plan I've been working on. But we have other things to do first. And the main reason is because I believe that the bounty on Kib's head has gotten high enough that they're going to start trying. And the bounty on Death Arms that I know that exists now, they're definitely going to start trying. And between the two of them, honestly, you know I love Kib. But there are moments where if I didn't need a sack of meat, we'd turn him in for the bounty. Keep yourself safe, dear. And soon I'm going to make you a lieutenant. Because you deserve the pay raise.
She's like, ma'am, and she's like, how do you, if you don't mind my asking, how do you intend to, well, how do you intend to resolve this whole thing?
Colovian, you know me for a long time. You're a good friend and an excellent coworker. How do I normally deal with these things? How would grandfather tell me to deal with these things? He would say, nip it in the bud before the whole tree takes down the house. So, I'm going to cut away the parts that are a problem as soon as elaborately possible. And I may make some enemies along the way. But if we didn't have haters, what's the point? And I pat her on her shoulder and I'm like, you always do a great job, dear.
And she nods and she's like, well, then I guess there's nothing more I can say on the matter. I wish you good luck in your journey.
We'll try and keep it under a month, but I don't make promises. So if we're not back in 3, Crenville has been told upon our untimely demise to hire all of you. Well, all of you that are important. And we'll see what happens after that. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you know I have a 50% chance of just being like, those motherfuckers killed me and coming back. But I can't say the same for Kib or Death Arms. or Dr. Oberhoff. Not that, everyone will miss Dr. Oberhoff. And I giggled just a little bit. And then I go to bed, and the next day we wake up, and Scott, I need you to make that piloting check.
By the way, strangely checking his room and his comm unit, it doesn't look like either have been disturbed at all. And when you show up to the shuttle, he is nowhere near where you've put his stash, but he is passed out like under the front console. And when you wake him up, he's like, "Oh, hey,
We
did
don't
you
wake him
see?"
up.
Oh, well, when he wakes up, when he does
Okay.
eventually wake up, he's like, "Hey, have you seen
After
my
we're
comm
already
unit?"
like in drift.
He's like, "Have you seen my comm unit?"
And I'm like, yeah, it's back on the station.
Oh man, I thought it was in here.
No, man, but I do have good news. Your stash is here.
Oh wow.
So at least
Wait,
you
how did my
planned that
stash
far
get
ahead.
here?
You
Oh,
planned
I
that
did?
far ahead. Yeah, it's in your room. Remember to put on the extra vents when you do it. In fact, I may join you later. How long are we going to be in drift, sir?
Uh,
Oh, Scott, did you
first,
ever make
well,
that roll? Wow. Even if I'd given you a fucking help check, that would have only been a 10.
oof.
So we're there for a while.
You're in
Ooh,
drift for
wait.
about 12 days.
I was going to say, was that bad enough we ended up at the church?
No.
I know. Dang it, Scott. Why couldn't you have rolled a 1? Okay. So 12 days. We maintain readiness and all that until like the day before we come out of drift. Well, no, because we have to be there to do that. Let's see.
I think when you tell Dr. Oglehop that he planned that far ahead, he's like, "Oh man, I'm smarter than I thought." But like,
Yeah.
um,
I'm like,
give
yes,
me
yes, you are.
give me a
Are you
sense
going to
motive
bluff?
roll here.
Oh, damn it. Sense motive?
Mm-hmm.
I have a chance. But I don't.
Yep. Anybody else?
Hey, I never raised. That would only be a +1 to that. So. Yeah, that's
Nope.
a decent one.
Nope. Yeah. Dr. Oglehop just sort of ambles out and goes towards the back of the shuttle, looking around.
Well, yeah, that's where his room is.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, so it takes you 12 days. You manage to make it to the Leave Halidis, I believe it's a BOA system, or is that the other one I'm looking at? No, that's the Verilox Concordance. Leave Halidis. What is the name of the system? I guess it's just called the League of Halidis. And you manage to get to Gambakar. As soon as you get to Gambakar, you are assailed with all kinds of advertising for everything, like
I
just
say we have a
anything that
bonus because
anybody.
they've been here before, so his pop-up program should still be in place.
But well, he went to one of the outlying planets. This is the capital.
Okay.
So, like,
I
you
will
are
give
getting.
him a help check
Yeah.
on trying to get that under control in just 1 second. Okay, Kib, I'm trying to help you block pop-ups. That's a very average block, but hopefully it's enough for a +2. Are you there, buddy? Yeah, 27.
All
Or
right,
25.
both of you make me some perception checks as well.
I actually have a chance of doing that. Oh, this is too much. Hang on. Oh. Little Tony is being slow, people. I apologize. 18.
Fell up. So, amidst all of the advertisements you're being assailed with, and you're working on getting the pop-up blocker up, all these hollow advertisements coming through your display and whatnot. There's there's stuff for cleaning products, there's stuff for food products, there's stuff for chemicals, stuff for all kinds of like everything. But something does catch your eye just as you're about to just as Kib's about to hit the button on the initiate program for to stop the pop-ups, there's a hollow advertisement that pops up for a perfume with a very familiar face on it. The Sheeran woman you saw back on what was possibly Terivia, the Broken Planet. Um, it pops up, and like she's basically like there's a you know sh- like she's got this brand of perfume that she's selling, like it's apparently a quasi successful line because the advertisement budget is clearly good enough to create some quality advertisement programming and stuff. Like it's scenes of it's like a mashup of scenes of like different creatures, like mating, or maybe not even mating, but like going through mating ritual type stuff, um and whatnot, like dating and things like that, or whatever. Um, and it's kind of like a weird mashup because some of it is from things that have like more of like a courtship routine, and some that it's more of a hey, let's do, kind of like. Um, but like the through line, at the very end, you see like the Clutchell's face, and her brand logo, um, all over it and whatnot. Um, but it's definitely her. Um,
All right. So I don't see it. So I'm like, all right. Let's look
Hey,
at all these.
isn't this that Sharon chick?
and you
I
look
don't
up.
know. Yeah, look up a bit.
Yep, it's definitely her. Um, like her brand logo is sort of like a super artistically cute version of her face, but like there is an actual like picture of her as well, a holographic image of her as well, like with the perfume in hand, like gesturing to it.
So she's into a lot of work. Bounty hunting, selling perfume. Man. All right.
That doesn't make sense that she would be high class. And, I mean, the only reason for someone in her station to want a bounty hunt is for the thrill. I don't know. You know her better than I do.
Well, the bounty hunters made it clear that she hired them for a couple of jobs, and they said whatever she was after was super important to her. Said it was her ticket or her key to something, but she was never specific with. Um,
I suppose she wants in the briefs as well.
Well, I don't know. Does it got an address? I thought you said it had an address. Let's go there.
well, yeah, there's you want to try to look up the you want to try to look up like the corporate address,
Yeah.
Or does she have
the
a home
offices and
address?
stuff. Um, Give me some computers checks to see what you can dig up.
All
You're
right.
probably not going to
So,
get a direct home address for her necessarily, but you might get some relevant stuff here.
all right. The only reason I ask is because since I'm raising my character, I forgot I need to do. I just got remote hack +2. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about this planet. And in fact, I think I just infected the computer. Oh, well, that makes up for it a little bit.
No, not that, but I got it. I got it. Oh my land.
So Kib, you pull up, like looking up Clutchell and her perfume brand. You find that there's a couple of things. Like, there's a lot on her for one thing. Like, she's kind of famous, to some extent. Like she's got you find out like that a news clipping of her being involved in some scandal or another, diplomatic incidents in the Verilax Concordance, um, like some kind of thing there that she got into. There was a bit of a like an incident and a scandal, and like the news reports you're finding are like her guardian, her guardian Tira Skilled, known business magnate and member and one of the most powerful oligarchs in Gombakar, you know, released a state, paid her bail to get her out, and rumor has it that he paid a significant amount of a significant amount in bribes to have to have the charges dropped. But like this is all stuff that seems to be um, like sort of celebrity reporting kind of stuff, paparazzi. I mean, it seems to be some basis in fact. There are like stories that look like they're more legit about this same incident, but with a lot less speculation. There's a lot of them that have a lot of speculation. There's also like speculation of like who she's going to eventually like marry and how much of Tira Skilled's fortune will she get if Mr. Skilled is killed. And and you find a picture of Tira Skilled himself. He's an Espercasa, which is a bird-like race. You know, they're fairly tall. They come from the planet of Nerun, which is quite a ways off. Um, at least originally. But this one, he's very tall, and he's got like I think he probably resembles. Hmm. I want to say he resembles probably um, maybe close to an albatross, right? Um,
I
but
like it.
he's dressed very, very well. And you can tell like he's had a lot of stylized, immaculate, like, grooming done. This is somebody who's super put together for any camera, every camera. And it's like they talk a great deal about how important Skilled is and how many companies he runs, and the fact that there's a lot of like controversy that Clutchell's perfume brand probably would have never made it off the ground without his backing behind it. That the business trade papers don't really reflect particularly well on her, not necessarily, and from what you can work out, it's probably an image thing more than it is a business acumen thing. She's not stupid, but she seems to get into enough trouble to get in her own way, to some extent. But there's no her corporate offices. There are several like locations for her like offices, like for her perfume company, and none of them are listed as like the head of. But Tira Skilled, like there is an address for his. There's both a home address and a corporate office, like a main corporate office that he's listed for.
So I reiterate all that I found. I'm like, well, she doesn't have a specific address, perfume things like here or there. But the dude she works under, he's got a home address. We can go pay him a visit and see if he wants to visit a corpse recycler.
Well, we're 12 days minimum away from the corpse recycle. But I get your drift. Hmm.
I mean, he might
You're on
know
a different planet for this, so your dude doesn't matter anyway. That sucks.
Yeah.
So we need to see if we can find a buyer for some of to find some cargo for the ship, and then we also need to try and sell at the very least. What is it? The porn.
I bet you he would be interested in the cargo at least if we just go and approach him as a business transaction and be like, hey, we have this stuff that you might be interested to sell off to other people here on the planet that, you can make money off.
So you want to attempt to gain an actual meeting with this guy to be like business, and then also hit up about what's her name?
Why not? Sounds fun. Let's try that.
All right. Well, we should probably find a place to land first. We go with one that has a 3.5-star rating.
All right.
Somewhere where they're like, well, our ship didn't get stolen. It did get a little graffiti on it, but other than that,
um, docking fees are going to be like um are going to be like probably um I want to say they're
last
going to
time
be
weren't they
about
absorbed by the company?
huh?
Last time weren't they absorbed by Lichtenstein Corporation?
Yeah, we can just say they're absorbed by Lichtenstein Corporation. You can just like
Right. This is a
sure.
business venture.
Okay, yeah, sure. We can just say that. I don't want to come
Yeah.
up with like it's probably something like 100 credits a week or some bullshit.
Oh, well, that's not too
But
bad.
so well, you didn't go for like the highest end. But you guys are
No.
gonna try to. But you
Yeah,
guys
but
want to
yeah.
try. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
So once we establish a home base, or a hotel room, so to speak. Also, Dr. Oglehop, why don't you stay here and make sure that they do their job, or just hang out and have fun? I mean, your whole or most of your stash is there. I don't know if we found everything, or if you brought everything, but
He's like, mind the ship. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah, he's like,
otherwise, if we end up leaving and you're not here, I can't be responsible for that. I mean, we'll see if we can find someone to send you home later, but I'd prefer that you be with us. But
okay.
anyway, thank you.
Yeah.
And we go establish a hotel. Once again, 3.5 stars.
All right.
One that's got Wi-Fi.
Mhm.
And then it'd be a culture check to see if I knew how to do it in the first place. Let's see if we can establish an actual meeting with this guy as Lichtenstein Corporation. How's a culture of 19 for that?
A culture of 19.
Mm-hmm.
So, it, for this, I think you're probably going to want to be fairly direct. I mean, this is where you have to do cold call. Um, I mean, um, it's going to be like diplomacy once you like get a hold of somebody to talk to. But a culture check will tell you a little bit about like um, Tyrus's company, but
Okay.
it's not going to get you a meeting per se.
All right, we
Okay,
call the
if we
number.
have Wi-Fi, can I just get on the internet and check the infosphere and figure out what type of businesses he does incorporate with and see how our cargo would line up with that?
Sounds like a good idea. Make it
Yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah. You can can use a culture
Here's a
check
health check.
background or a computer check. Oh, nice.
Health check. 17.
Well, what you can gather is that Guild owns a number of. It's going to be impossible to track down everything that he's got his fingers into. But from what you can tell, like he does a lot with technology, he also has a great deal into like the entertainment industry is where he mostly has where he's got like probably what looks like his biggest footprint. He's hollow entertainment, um, physical entertainment. Like he like one of the things that he like almost every like one of his hotels comes with its own escort service. He's got like several restaurants, a couple of sports teams, that sort of thing. Like, in fact, in fact, he owns like the home team for the capital city. Like um, he owns like one of their major teams.
Nice. Good job, kid.
There's rumor that he has like some stake in Victory League combat.
What about a? Is he a collector? Is that how we go?
That seems to be I mean, his personal habits are kind of a little bit different to track, but it does seem like he'd be the type that might be. Like, but there again, like, for as much as for as much business as he's got running, like,
He's done a very good job at keeping it under wraps.
he's
Man.
done a very good job of like keeping a lot of stuff. Well, he's also found a lot of like really like there's articles about like who his proteges, various people he's taken under his wing who have gone on to become super successful, and a big question as to who will take over his business when he's ready to retire. There are people that are like, oh, well, it'll be Clutchell because she's his ward, and then there are others that are like, no, he's looking for somebody that's more business savvy than Clutchell is. There's the typical sort of like there's the typical sort of speculation that goes on with somebody who's like super rich and powerful, and he's not like super old or anything, but everybody's always making those like sort of like who will who will he pick to lead after he's gone, kind of thing. He's
Scott.
just
Sorry, Kib.
Yo.
I think we need to put together a pressure point presentation.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because I'm pretty sure he could be good for the collection of happy-go-lucky,
Well,
good-looking people. And,
I was
on top
thinking.
of that. No, I got it. I'm going to put the presentation, and then I'll show you before we go in the meeting. Okay? Just give me 30, 45 minutes. I'll put it together.
We have all day because we haven't even set up the appointment yet.
Oh, I thought you called him. Look,
No,
here's
we were
his
still
number.
trying to figure out what the. Yeah, we have the number to call, but the whole thing is we're trying to figure out how best to start these best. If we come across as nobodies, they're not going. He's not going to talk to us.
I know.
So
I'm going to do
we're
this
about
presentation. You're going to call up the number, talk to the secretary at his business, and set up a meeting for a venture opportunity that he would find highly great.
Yes, I was going to suggest that we use the spaceships that we're about to make as our fucking power point, or sorry, our pressure point.
Yes. Okay, I'll incorporate that.
Okay, that was what I wanted. Thank you, kid. So, Death Arms, how you doing?
Just Trying to figure some things out. Not too bad. How about you?
Hmm. Doing all right. It's been a while since you've been on a planet this size, huh?
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. So, what should we do with this Klondike bar? Oh, I should call. One ring-a-dingy. Two ring-a-dingies.
You get a first you get a switchboard like like skilled industries. How may I direct your call?
Acquisitions.
Please hold. And then there's um like this sort of sort of there's this music that's got like sort of like a island feel to it that sort of plays in the background. It's it's not loud and it's not like obnoxious. It's sort of understated, but it still has sort of like an island groove to it. Um, and you wait for a while, and eventually you get a you get an answer. It's like acquisitions, Zarvis.
Ah, Zarvis. I think you're who I talked to the last time.
Or
Hang on. Aw.
he's like, he
Maybe it
goes,
wasn't you.
he's like, I don't know. He goes, what can I do for you?
So I need to set up an appointment with Mr. I don't like slow down while I'm actually talking to him. I just can't remember as a human. The big guy.
I
What's
put it,
his name? Oh,
I
did
put
you?
it in, I put it in
Oh,
chat, and I
there
put
it
it
is.
in chat again.
Terrace. Tears. Scold?
Guild.
What you said.
And he's like a meeting with Tyrus Guild. He goes, that's not, he goes, and he kind of like gets this suspicious about it, like in his voice. He's like, you want a meeting with Tyrus Guild. If you wanted a meeting with Tyrus Guild, you'd have the number of his personal assistant. If you were, he goes, he goes, if you don't have his personal assistant's number, then then you're not gonna get can't get an appointment.
Is that not what I dialed?
No, apparently you gave me the wrong number.
Like it's like I'm
I hang
sorry, I
up on
don't.
him.
Yeah, he's and like maybe we get like the other side of the screen. He's just looking at his call at his commune. He like taps his headset like hello. Oh, okay, and he goes back about his
Wait,
business.
hold on. Let me. Ah, crap. Hold on. Let me search for it. Oh, crap. I thought that was it. Fart. Put that over there. Okay. I look for the assistant's number.
That's going to be another
Yeah,
computer's check. Let me help. I said, let me help. Okay.
Sorry.
I probably didn't help.
uh,
I mean, we have time. Technically, we can take 20 if we need to. Well, if you
I'm
say we
just
can
trying
take
to
20.
think. I'm just trying to think here, um, how this works. I
I
think
understand.
I think hmm, maybe like we get hmm, maybe we get a cut scene. It's like somebody like we see Tears Guild standing at his like in his office, staring out of his window, looking over the city with his arms behind his back, sort of crossed behind his back, and somebody walks up and goes, "Sir, we just got a really weird call. somebody trying to call acquisitions to get a meeting with you. And he kind of turns around and goes, and he's like, who would be so, and he's he kind of turns around and he's like, he looks a little annoyed and he goes, who would, he goes, who would be so amateurist to try that route? And he's like, trace the call. And like maybe you guys are kind of, and we cut back to you guys, and you're kind of sitting here looking up, trying to find the assistant's number, and you realize you don't even know who the assistant is. And you're kind of like looking around and maybe like while you're taking the time to like after a few hours of like searching and digging, like like a there is a knock at your like there's a knock at like your hotel door.
Wait. Oh, okay. That works.
There's a human standing there in a sharp business suit, and he looks at you. He says, "Are you?" He goes, "We understand there was a call made from this hotel room earlier today, and there's a couple of other guys with him. You kind of see in the hallway. They seem to be like down the hall, but they look like they're standing guard. You see somebody else try to go to their hotel room, and they just put their hand up and like deny them access. And he's like, apparently someone here tried calling acquisitions in a amateur move, dropping dropping Mr. Skilled's name. He's like,
Look, I thought I had the right number. The number I was given, that's the one we used. Then that's what
He's
they
like-
said to do. I was
He's
trying
like-
to find the right freaking thing, and it just didn't add up right. And I've tried.
who are you?
Who are you?
Who I am is unimportant. Who I serve is infinitely more so. But the question isn't upon me. I'm the one asking the questions here. Who are you?
Slutty
It
black
doesn't matter who we
flash.
are.
Oh,
That's on a need-to-know basis.
He
You
says,
tell us who you are.
and he straightens his tie. And from where you're standing, like, because Philip is the one that opened the door, so you're kind of behind. You suddenly see a red dot right in the middle of the back of Philip's head.
in the back of my head? That's interesting.
Yep, at the back.
How did someone get in the room?
And you trace it, it's coming straight through the window. And he's like, I assure you, Mr. Skilled is not someone who asks questions multiple times. He said who likes to ask questions multiple times.
Look, look, look. I get up from the desk, and all the computer and paperwork things just scattered all over the place. And get up. Look, 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 look. We have some product that Mr. Skills would be interested in, and we tried to establish a chance for him to get on the ground floor running to have access to some of the stuff that we can acquire on a regular basis to make him make more money. I realize he has an abundance amount of money now, but it's a grand gesture to go further, to reach further in different galaxies.
I think he holds up his hand.
All galaxy that we're from.
I think he holds up his hand and he's like, you still haven't answered the most basic and first question that was asked. Who are you, people?
Oh, I thought I said my name. I am so sorry. My name's
Kip,
Kid.
shut up.
What? See,
just
he
said
said
it
my
too.
name.
He's
Look.
he looks for a
At this
minute
point,
and
I'm
yeah.
face palming 2 foot above the human. Actually, probably 3.
Yeah, the human looks at you. He goes, Kib. and he looks at
Hello.
looks at you. He's
My
like,
name is Philip Defoe, head councilwoman of Lichdom Corporation, currently located in the dredge system.
and he goes,
We did quite a few things, but our current bid to try and gain favor with your boss was we're about to come into a lucrative starship building operation, and we wanted to throw an offer at him to make shifts for him as well. And I realize that's a diplomacy check, especially after all this. And my sense motive is probably right on the bat, so I believe that he is being genuine about trying to kill me.
he's not messing.
Yay!
He's like, I think maybe like he said he looks at his partner and his partner. He's like,
Oh, and
and
actually,
he
that
goes,
should be better than that because
there's
when I raised, I get an additional +1 to diplomacy
yeah,
checks.
and I think there's like a moment like, and he's like, did you get all of that? And he kind of like taps his ear for a minute. And he's like, understood, understood. Yes, sir. No, sir. I don't think it'll be a problem, sir. And he stops and he kind of like and he kind of looks at you and he goes, Miss Defoe of the
Yes.
Freewheel Station, I believe you're that you're calling yourself. You're that station
Well, the
now.
station is free will, yes. We are
He goes,
Lichdom Corporation. We currently reside.
he goes,
And
he,
yes, I am those Depfos.
he's like, he goes, come with us. He goes, and you'll have to. He goes, and clearly you'll have to relinquish your weapons before we go any further. You'll be returned. They'll be returned to you as soon as their meeting is over, in
Well,
the
I
same
have
condition
no
you give it
problem
to
doing
us.
that. And I hand him my club. And I hand him my hip holster. And then I hand him my other hip holster. And then I take out the grenades. And then, on top of that, I put a tiny fucking blade on top of all of that. And I'm like, there's mine.
Yeah, you look, Kib. How do you react?
I say, Kib, go ahead.
Wait, okay, so off the side, I sit off my side. I put the little sight, and I don't know. There's this hand coil explorer, and I set that down. That's the only two weapons I have
He,
that they
he
know of.
looks. He
The
looks
ones in
over
the
at.
seat pouch.
He looks over at you, Death Arms, and he's like, "I assume you're the head of security. I will assure you, you will be." He says, He says, on Mr. Skilled's word, you will be well protected. You will. No harm will come to you while you're in our care.
It's a bonus that you are a weapon.
It's like as he says that, I start taking off my belt and I just pull my rifle out of my back.
All right. Yeah. So they take your like one of his functionaries takes your weapons and makes sure that like they handle them well and take good care of them. They put them in cases. And he's like, "Here's if you'll follow me, we have a car waiting."
Oh. I changed dresses.
Actually, he's like, not car. He's like, "We have a intercopter waiting on the roof."
Aww. Our 3.5-star place had a helicopter pad. Alright. Yay. I love helicopter rides, I say.
It's like, yeah. So like they lead you up and there's a intercopter. It's clearly made for, it's clearly made to hold a certain amount of commercial purpose. And it's like And he's like, um, and the functionary, he kind of looks at his the pilot once you guys are all strapped in. He goes, ready, and you fly over the city, and they you've already been somewhat struck by this, and like Death Arms, you and Kib have been to the League of Halades before, and if you thought it was polluted on the first planet that you went to, this place is just as polluted, perhaps more so, but it's a grander scale because this city here is much bigger. It's a literal maze of corporate offices, shopping districts. There's like all of the residential is either those rich enough to live in like super expensive high-rise apartments, really, um, like there's like, and
The
most of that
Jetsons.
most of the rest of the housing is sort of pushed off to the outskirts of the city. And of course, you can see a few like very large mansions, out to the countryside. But there's a whole lot of industry here, and there's like factory districts just spewing smog out of different types. But you know, it's one of the more polluted places you've probably seen. Um,
I activated my environmental protections the second we walked out the. We'd made it all the way.
Right. Here's but they fly you out to like you fly over the city, and you fly over the city and you get towards what you think must be the center and one of the tallest buildings. Um, and you're flown like the intercopter lands on the roof, and the guy kind of steps out and he goes. Is all right. He's like, he's like, follow, and he kind of like guides you guys as he kind of like guides you down. There's only like a couple of
I
floors
have to
in an
slide down
elevator,
extra low when we get out of the helicopter.
right? Yeah, it's
I'm like,
not.
hang on, we'll like crawl.
And he's like,
And once I'm out of the way of the blades, of course, I stand back up in full gait. But yeah,
yeah. He kind of goes, like, you're not sure what's actually on the top two levels of this building because the elevator you take kind of goes past the top two levels and into the offices on like maybe the third or fourth to the top. And like they lead you through corridors. There are several offices, very nice offices, but offices nonetheless with, people in very sharp suits, moving back and forth, talking and doing about their daily basis. It kind of leads you to this massive office. And like I'm talking like big glass window that overlooks the city. Like the door is made of glass. Like um, you know, but it's like a glass that he can turn translucent when he needs to. Or opaque or translucent whenever he needs. It's like maybe as you approach, it's like a dark, opaque black, but as you get closer, it like lightens up to be more a smoky gray, translucent. You can kind of
Mhm.
see through and see him standing in there. When you enter, um, like the windows to the rest of the office turn back to a black opaque. The glass window out to the outside, is clear as day. And as soon as like you're in the 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 functionary looks at the Aspercasa and says, "Will there be anything else, sir?" And the Aspercasa goes, "No." He goes, "I think we're fine. I think we'll be all right here." He says, and he kind of turns around and he looks at you, and looks at the three of you, and he's like, yeah, he kind of looks at you expectantly for a minute, and he goes, "I'm Tira skilled."
yes.
And he says, and I understand you are attempting to meet with me in quite possibly the most clumsy and amateur way I've seen anyone in a long time.
But it worked, didn't it? We're here with you. Never mind. Right.
He looks at you
Okay,
and
I
he goes,
put my hand on top of Kib's head, and I scratch him behind his left ear, and I'm like, let mom talk today, okay? And then I reach into my pocket and pull out a bow tie and tie it around his neck. And I'm like, sit.
Yes. What exactly? He goes, what exactly are you here about?
There are a couple of things on the plates, good sir. Hello, I'm Philip Defoe. I know that you already know that, but introductions are important in business matters. I originally come from Eox, and now I reside in the Dredge system as current councilwoman of the Free Will Station. Um, and we have turned the tin can that it was into a much better tin can, and we are currently about to start manufacturing warships for, who is it, Kib? Do you remember? Shadowfey.
Expensive buyers.
The Velquin
Yeah.
Empire?
Yes,
You're
the
going to
Valkyrie
be making
Empire.
warships for the Velquin Empire. The current
Yeah.
war, it seems that would be a highly strategic business decision. What do you need me for?
Well, what is it I'm trying to get him to do? Produce isn't the right word.
Finance it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
we're currently just a tad underfinanced for this endeavor. We're still working on it, and it's coming along. And Kib, give him the presentation folder or presentation tablet.
Oh yeah. Here you go. And it like projects onto one of the bare walls of the office. And like, see, here we have
Let him read. It'll be fine.
okay.
He kind of looks it over and he kind of,
It has estimated, returns over the next 14 quarters, and then his percentage that he would make back monthly from the business, regardless. And Kib did it, so it's excellently put together. It's just Kib stutters sometimes.
he's like, he looks at it and he goes, do you have any idea how many business propositions that come across my desk from people who want to start up money to help them reach their goals?
Actually, that's on the next tab here. You get about 834 a day. So
No, it's more than that. I mean, once we're in full swing, he'll make millions.
He's like, he's like, he kind of looks at you. He's like,
I would not have come here and risked everything for less than, what's the word I'm looking for? If I did not think that the venture would make your gain worth the small amount of risk. We're only asking for 2%.
he looks at you, he looks at you and he says, he goes, he goes, if I were to invest, I would want stake, 60%.
Oh, I gotta try.
He was like, he goes, I would want. He says,
Oh, thank God.
I would. Says I would want a stake on the board, i.e., i.e. managerial stakes as well. It's like he says,
Okay.
but he goes, but I didn't make it this far in business. by being a fool. That's he says, that's not the real reason you came here.
I
He goes,
accidentally hit the next tab and it's got imagery and it has a picture of that one girl.
which one? Oh, that Clutchell?
Yeah. So she could be the image of the ship line and whatever.
Like it's like, it's like,
Once again, I'm pinching that area between my nose and eyes.
he looks at it, and goes, my ward, Clutchell. What of her? What is your
Yeah.
business with her?
Oh shit,
Well, I figured
kid!
she'd make
Wait,
a
wait.
good. No, I saw the advertisement of the perfume thing when I came to Planet, right? And she was doing a great job. It almost made me want to buy perfume. I don't need a perfume, but I almost wanted to buy it just with that image alone. And I figured if we used her image on the ship thing and advertisements, and that actually, yeah.
All right, so in my head, I'm like, this guy has as much influence as grandfather in his prime. I
And
mean,
it's like,
right now he could put us in a corpse recycler and be done with this. Rump pump pump.
he says,
Kib, tell him about Gormy.
Wormy?
Oh, Dormy's great. She was fun. And she's a demolition expert.
Woo!
So she was just what?
Oh, I rolled well when I told you to do that. Remember, he started off not liking us at all. I'm trying to up that to where he's indifferent at the very least, and if not better than that by the end of this. So, as far as rules go,
She would be helpful in when we made the ship. She would be a great asset too to have because she would be able to help with the uh,
you
weaponry on the ships and stuff. That would be a great person if you know her. I used to work with her before. She was awesome.
because Ha was 30 foot in the air during that battle. By chance, did Ha catch any footage of his ward being at that site?
Possible. Does Ha have a camera on him?
Ha
On
has a
them?
multi-directional camera on him. It's part of
Yeah.
the model.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. That
Okay.
would definitely have holographic imagery.
Ha, can you play the part of the tape where we see or where you saw?
Yeah. So Ha.
Okay. And he does the same thing.
Okay. So he looks at it for a minute and he goes,
I
and he
realized that
nods.
this could be faked, but I would not have shown it to you if I thought that was because it would have been a stupid move. Um, really, while business is definitely on my mind because I am a Defoe, I like this little guy right here quite a bit. So his family is important to me, just as your ward is important to you. And really, the last thing we were told before we disposed of her henchmen that were attacking us, as you see here and here, was that she was in current possession of his cousins.
He kind of nods and and he said he
And
uh
because you are who you are, I wasn't going to do it any of the ways that would just get me killed.
he goes he's like, I don't exactly appreciate people wasting my time. So it's good that you have come through with something close to the truth of why you got here, why you came
That's
here.
definitely the
Here's
truth, I promise.
he says this is I don't he says as far as your business proposition, I think you're amateurs. But
I'd agree with that.
as far as Clutchell is concerned, she's caused me a great deal of embarrassment. He says, And he looks at you, Kib, and he goes, I know who you are. And I know why she's looking for you. And I know why. He's like, and he goes, he says, and I assure you that her actions do not represent anyone but herself. If you think
So you have no clue why she wants. If you know why she wants me, can you elaborate a little bit more?
he goes, I could, but then I would have to take actions none of us in this room want me to take. And he says, leave it at this. Whatever what she's doing here gives me a bad name. And if it was just me, I would deal with it as I need to. But it
Understood.
seems that she's giving a bad name to more than just myself, and it seems that she's gone a bit too far. I, nor anyone associated or affiliated with my company, or any of the organizations that I claim membership in, support her actions in this. The taking of kidnapping of the kidnapping of people is not exactly a part of our business model. It's bad for business, as a matter of fact, in most cases. So, do whatever you have to do to stop her. He's like, he says, I, for one, will not interfere. He says, however, you're going to need to worry about anyone else who has a staked interest.
Definitely.
He
I
says,
have so many enemies.
and he looks at he looks at you, Kib, and he's like, he goes, he says, for your sake, I hope Clutchell is wrong about the rumor about is wrong about the captain is wrong about you. I hope, he says, for what it's worth, I hope everyone is wrong about you. I'd hate to see an ambitious startup go down in flames as soon as it's begun in its infancy. He says, I won't stop you. As a matter of fact, she has a number of, if you're looking for where she might have taken this friend of yours, she has a number of facilities to her company. Most of them are in operation and would be inconvenient to hide a live kidnapped prisoner of any sort there. But there are a few that have been closed for a while. He says they just he said shifts in the transport industry forced her to abandon a couple of her refineries or a couple of her labs. I'll give you a list on your way out. He says, he says, and he says, he says, and I think he's like, he kind of, he's like, he goes, he looks at you, Kib, and he goes, you get this one chance to walk away from me. And he goes, you get to have this one chance to walk away from me without giving me the information everybody is seeking. He goes, he goes, in hopes that you don't actually possess it. And
I'm
he
as
goes,
lost as you on what the information. I have no idea. And so I'll take the list and be out of your hair and never bother you again.
yeah, he
I
kind of
reach
narrows
over in
his
front
eyes
of
at
the
you,
kid's mouth and close it for him. And
yeah.
I look at him and I'm like, thank you, sir. I appreciate everything that you've done so far today, including taking time out of your busy schedule for us. And I curtsy.
He goes, "Don't thank me. I don't do anything that doesn't give me a benefit in some degree." And he goes, and he and he goes, and he's like, if you can get your, he goes, if you get your startup off of the ground and you start making ships, you might raise my interest. And he goes, and I think he says, I think that's enough for today. I'm a very busy man.
I was ready to leave as soon as I curtsied.
Yeah, he like you're given a list as you leave. You're not sure when he told his functionaries to get it for you or how he might have told them. Or if this is just
Contact.
information that he keeps close at hand because he's anticipated some need for it. But
Mm.
you have a list of about 5 labs and production facilities that he's marked as being likely places to that Clutchell could be hiding someone.
For me.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Do they take us back, or do we literally get dropped off out
Yeah.
the front of the building?
They drop you off back in front of your hotel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. With our stuff, right?
Yeah, with your stuff in good condition. Fucking
After we get back to the room, I look at Kib and I'm like, actually, I look at them both and I'm like, do you want to know the funny part? Hey, Ha, show them your guns. Ah,
yeah, Ha's gun, by the way. Um,
oh, they
when you
snuck it
look
off
at it,
them. Nice.
yeah, actually, it goes to pull out the gun and it won't power up for a minute.
Ah,
You have to wait a good 5
even
minutes for it to
nicer,
be able to
right?
power up.
The
And
battery's
he's
dead.
like,
They drained it. I got you.
yeah, he was like,
Like it comes on and gets there, and then up, it shuts back off. That makes sense.
yeah,
Either way,
I reach my
awesome.
hand in my mouth, pull out a gun.
the same thing with it. Like it's got no charge either. He,
Well, we put them
he,
on the charger, and I'm
yeah,
like, either way, Ha, good job.
yeah.
All
He's
right,
like,
so
and
unless we need, sorry,
I,
death
th-
arms.
I think Death Arms, you probably would understand this technology because as a bounty hunter, you've probably seen like security tech like this before. Like high end clients will sometimes have shit put in that drains the power charge out of
Hidden weapons.
out of like items and whatnot.
Okay,
Which is why I keep a
It's a
knife on me at
safety
all times.
measure.
yep.
Yep.
Just want to, but
Some-
where were we? Let's do some computers check, Scott, to see if we can find a buyer for some of our treasure while we're here. Let me bring that sheet up. Loot. All right, so
Well, for the stuff for your Peruvian sex tapes and the data slab, that'll be a culture check to find people who
oh,
are going to
all
want to
right.
buy it. Like for your cargo, if you're looking for cargo to buy, that's the find buyer activity.
All right, well, we'll do that next. But first, do you have culture at all, Death Arms? I mean, I
Actually,
know you can.
Culture, yes, I do have.
I was gonna say
Okay.
he sure does.
All right, so you and I can make culture checks. That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
All right. So the data slat The data slate, you aren't finding a scholar here that's going to pay the money that you're pretty sure it's worth, but you can find a buyer for the Terevian Sex Parties hollow
Okay.
set.
Do any of the scholars we talked to tell us of a better place
Well,
to?
you don't. Here's the thing: you don't run into a lot of people who are scholars. To be honest with you, you
Well,
run
that makes
into
sense.
more business people and whatnot. But if you ask around, um, like people will tell you that like the Verilax Concordance, like
What about
they're techno mages and they have a lot of fucking interest in. Oh, there's a lot of scholars there. Like,
can?
there's
Okay, so can we find someone that wants to buy the flask?
the flask.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can find somebody who wants to buy the flask.
All right. So what's that? There's an odd number. Hang on. 1,000. Oh, there it is. After we spend the day selling those two items,
Hmm.
oh, if I can use a calculator correctly, everybody gets 1,300 credits.
Okay.
All right. And I will take those off the thing. And then we go home or go back to the hotel, sleep, and the next day we'll do the find buyer first.
All right.
Or no,
Well,
find buyer, find cargo.
flying fire cargo. Awesome. All right. Do you guys want to start with that next week, or do you want to do that now?
Say we can wait till next week to do that. You sound good, Scott? Or sorry, Kib.
Yeah.
Death Arms, you about ready for bed?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, tonight.
And everybody send me your Player's Choice Awards, and
Oh.
we'll start getting sign-offs going.
Hi, tonight I played Philip Defoe. You find me here and only here because it's my only game at the moment. But I have a lot of fun. And we're trying to find Kib's cousin, Gormy. Uh, and make a little money along the way so we can finally start making spaceships and open our space mall. And a club. We're gonna have a fucking kick-ass club too. Really, boards, booze, and bitches should be pissed at us. First we open a casino, and then we're gonna open a club now. Anyway, so that's all for me. And on to let's go with Death Arms.
All right. Hi. I play Death Arms. I'm Soul Demon. Okay. I am in this Restoration of Gallifrey. Unfortunately, since school started where I am and I do sports, I will not be in Land of Ibaria anymore.
Oh,
But that's me.
that makes it the one and only Psychopathic, otherwise known as Kib.
Okay. I'm I'm Scott. I don't know what my name is. I answered most of them. But I like Kib. Kib is awesome. I don't know why everybody dislikes him. He's just got a lot of stories and he talks a lot. Maybe that's a weird part of my personality I don't let out much. All right, what else am I in? I'm also in Lands of Ibaria. When we come back, we are on a little hiatus for a while. I think we're coming. September 9th is the next time I remember we were doing it again. So we'll come back
Yes.
with Lands of Ibaria, where I play everybody's favorite little cat that everybody loves and has no worries about and doesn't need a cat carrier for, but I don't know. And then probably on the 10th, We will also get back, as I am the GM of the Doctor Who Adventure in Time and Space Restoration of Gallifrey, whatever name. But hopefully on September 10th, we can get back to that and finish out the rest of the episodes for this season and get that wrapped up and figure out what happens there. And that'll be fun. I think that's all my brain has. Yes, that's everything I'm in. Good. Yay.
Now for the one and only Just a King.
All right. Let's see. Make sure I'm. There we go. All right. First of all, bookkeeping out of the way. Death Arms, for the first time ever, you have one player's choice. Give yourself an extra 50 experience points for it. And a congratulations there, sir. With that said, I am the Just a King Zerat. You can catch me here on Monday nights for Freewheel Station. It's currently the only thing I'm doing. We'll keep you posted on things going forward as we do. I'm having a great deal of fun taking these characters out to cool places in this weird frontier and dealing with the fun stuff that's going on here. Wait until they find their way to the Parallax Concordance. Oh baby. But there's a lot going on here, and I'm having a bit of fun with this. So, and I hope you all are as well. With that said, I think that's all we got. So let's get bring out the dragon and get out of here.
Bring out
Bring
the
out the
dragon.
dragon!
Bring out the
Dragon.
dragon.